Hi everyone, it's Sarah. Just going to wait a few moments because I think I may be going live on two pages at once, which is the first time ever. Yeah, now, okay, it says we're live. I think I might be going live on two pages at once. So if you can let me know, if you can see me, if you can hear me at all, anywhere, that would be really good. If you can catch me on different pages, amazing. I've just learned to do something. But today we are talking about how to reprogram your mind for positivity. It's something that I come across a lot with my clients. It's something that I hear people talking about a lot. And yeah, it's something that needs to be addressed. So we are going to do it today. So if you don't know me, my name is Sarah Asquith-Vallance. I am a neuroscientist and a performance coach, kind of elite performance coach. So I work with people, mainly entrepreneurs, to get the most out of themselves, their business, the way they think, and how they understand their brain. So so mindset is huge. It's massive, massive, and it's a big thing of what I do in my day-to-day work. So we're talking about how to reprogram your mind. So basically, we have lots of thoughts, and we have lots of thought processes and lots of patterns and lots of way that we do things, and we seem to do it automatically. But there isn't a way. We haven't actually always consciously sat there and thought, right, this is how I'm going to think about this situation. So when we come across negative thought patterns, it's usually something that has been fed to us from other people. Hi, hello, Tamsin, how are you? Hi. So it's something that's been fed to us from other people. It's beliefs and it's patterns and it's programming that we haven't actually consciously thought. It's just gone in there and been drip fed, possibly from when you were very, very small. So it's kind of like it's how we see the world. But the thing is that how we see the world is not actually how the world actually is. It's just the way we see through our filter. And the way we then see through our filter is our thoughts and our beliefs and our programming within our brain around the situation that we are seeing. So really, it's kind of like fixed in the subconscious. It's not something you consciously think about all the time. You don't go around thinking, okay, when I experience this situation, I know I'm going to react to X. But yeah, it is. It's kind of repeating these negative thought processes when we come into situations that we find ourselves in. So I'm going to talk really about kind of how thoughts are generated. They're kind of really, put quite simply, they're automatic and they appear on a subconscious level. So our brain happily knows what it knows. And we have our patterns and our thoughts, as I say, going on from a long, long way back. And it's just, it becomes wired, really. You know, it's those little neurons working together. It's those pathways coming together. It's those little chemical jumps across synapses that are just basically building up these kind of little patterns in our brain. So yeah, we are basically becoming wired to a certain situation, a certain thought process, a certain belief. Excuse me. And what happens is we don't actually have to be consciously thinking about situations. We as humans are often just triggered by something. So it could be something that happens immediately, or it could be something that triggers, that brings back a pattern and a thought process that has gone on in your brain, and you've been repeating that thought process and that pattern on your subconscious level for many, many years. And it may be something that you are doing in your business that is bringing this thought process up. You think, oh my gosh, I've never reacted like this for so long. So really, it's kind of all these patterns are hidden away. And and my job is to help you get past those and to move forward and to understand what your brain is doing. And to not just react, but to be actually kind of proactive. So we're going to be looking as to how you can then take those patterns and, you know, basically retrain your brain. So today I've got 3 steps that I'm going to be telling you about. but basically to be a more kind of mature, more conscious, more enlightened human, more enlightened entrepreneur. Hi, Mandy. Hello. Hi. We kind of need to know how to take control of our brain, because our brain basically does want to keep us safe. Okay, that's one of the main jobs. Is it's a 2 million-year-old structure, but it kind of says, I know what I'm doing. And the main thing is, I want to keep you safe. I want to keep this going. So if you're just basically plodding along, which, you know, a majority of people are, they're not building any new pathways. They're not building any new wirings, but they're often not really very happy with where they are in life. And this is where you need to kind of really take control of your brain. You need to take control and be really kind of proactive, so not reactive. So I work with some like the kind of high performance business people in the world. And the main thing that I teach them is to really, really be disciplined about their thoughts. So, and this is for everybody, you know, this isn't just for the people who are going for it in the world. This is for absolutely every single one of us, every single day. So basically, you'll find that when you give your thoughts, in particular your negative thoughts, any particular weight, so any overthinking, you may be in a place where you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't get my business to move forward, you know, and it's that repetitive pattern. Your thoughts and your brain becomes hardwired basically to keep constantly thinking about these thoughts. So yeah, it's you're just building basically old neural pathways, but you're strengthening those old neural pathways. And what we need to do is to almost put a break as to where we are with those pathways. And as I say, then we need to kind of almost rewire. So we need to be really proactive and we need to take control, and which we can all do. And I know some days it seems really hard, doesn't it, everybody, when we're kind of like thinking, you know, what do I do in this situation? How do I react? What decisions do I make next? And if we're always coming from a subconscious level of, say, fear or, you know, just some kind of negative belief, that's our go-to. That's our go-to place. So we need to really change those pathways in our brain and start building the new pathways to make them super, super strong. So then at some point in the future, they then become your go-to pathways and not the kind of negative thinking. So yeah, we kind of do need to do a bit of our brain training. So yeah, the 3 tips I'm going to give you today is, first of all, how to start doing this is to really, really notice what you're thinking. Most of us go through life and we have absolutely no idea what we're thinking. We're just very reactive to situations. But I want you to really today, if you're in a situation, and I know we're finding life stressful at the moment, you know, particularly because our businesses aren't necessarily going how they should be. We have children at home that we have that extra kind of added stress of thinking, oh my goodness, am I looking after them? Great. How's their education going? Yeah, so there's lots for us business ladies. There's lots and lots and lots to kind of even consider more than anything else. So things will be triggering us, and that is okay. All right, ladies, it's okay to be triggered, but I'm going to teach you today as to the little things you can do to basically get out of that and get into kind of a more of a positive thought process. So yeah, first of all, it is to notice what you're thinking. And the question I want you to ask yourself is this thought advancing me in my life? Is it advancing me in my business? Or is it keeping me where I am? And am I doing a repeated pattern of what I always have done? So yeah, that is the one thing to have a look at, because you have a choice to course correct. You have a choice to redirect your thoughts. So I would invite you today for number 1 is, when you are in that situation and you do catch yourself, yeah, you know, just go and see, ask that question. are my thoughts advancing my life or advancing my business? And the second thing I want you to do, and it's to start today, but it is something to do over and over and over again. Because I always say, like, wherever we are in life, if it's like health, if it's business, if it's relationships, things don't happen overnight. So if you're in a negative thought process, if you're struggling with something, if you are in a place, say, with your health or, anything like that, you haven't just got there overnight, okay? It's been the steps that you've been taking that have got you to the situation that you're currently in. So there is going to be a little bit of time and a little bit of work and a little bit of thought process to getting you out of that place and into it. But you can start immediately. Yeah, it's not something that you think, oh, well, I'll keep doing and maybe it will and maybe it won't happen. Okay, the sooner you start it, the sooner you will make some changes. So first of all, I would say anything that you are so not happy with, this thought, focus on that thought that you've just asked yourself, is it advancing me in my life? Is it advancing me in my business? I want you to re-visualize this situation. And I want to turn it into a positive, okay? And visualize, if you're going to a negative outcome, visualize it as a really, really positive outcome. I know the businesses that I work with will say, oh yeah, but I don't know. I'll take an example actually of what's going on now. I don't think people are buying, okay? I don't know what to do. Things just aren't good at the moment, okay? And they're going to that very, very negative place straight away. That's been reinforced by everything we see on the news, everything we read in the media, the conversations we have. As I said from the beginning, these patterns and beliefs don't usually come from us. These patterns and beliefs are drip fed in over time. Now, we've had 6-8 weeks of being drip fed. The world is full of doom and gloom. And I have to tell you that I am working with people who are being very, very prosperous, who are being very proactive, very, 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 very successful. And the reason is because they aren't buying into the story. They are visualizing a positive outcome that is what they basically want. The other thing I would say, it's not just visualizing it, but it's giving it emotion. Okay, so by visualizing and giving this positive outcome and emotion, we are triggering the visual cortex in our brain. That brains can, we are all very, very visual in some way or other. Many of us are more visual than others. But I would say giving it that link to like the amygdala and giving it that link to the visual cortex is going to just supercharge your brain. It's going to start giving you new pictures. It's going to start giving you new images and new thoughts to think about. So basically, do visualize the positive rather than the negative. And I know sometimes it's hard to say, well, the negative is just staring me in the face, but we look at the law of polarity, okay? You have a front and a back of hand. You have a front and a back of coin. You have, a distance here to here. You can only have here if you have here. Yeah, it's the law of polarity. So when something negative is always is happening in the world for you, or you believe it, this is what I was saying earlier on. It's our filter that we look through. If you are believing that it is negative, then the good chances the outcome is going to be negative. If you are visualizing and giving emotion to the positive over time and with repetition, this is where you can change your thought processes. So the 4 key things of this point number 2 is visualization and emotion. Feel it in your body, okay? Feel that positiveness, that if you want to change something around, if your business is struggling, if you have a query and a question and all you can see is negative, change that around with visualization, emotion. Time does take time and repetition over and over and over again. And again, the visualization, one tip I would give you is write something down, read it 3 times a day. You need that repetition, you need that thought to be in your head, to be building new pathways and new wirings. So yeah, that's so visualization, emotion, time, and repetition. And the third point, and it's super, super important, and this is something that I will tell my clients over and over again, because I know how important it is. We tell ourselves when we are in a negative state, we will talk about, I can't do this, I don't know how to make this happen, this is just all terrible, yeah, I've tried this before and it's not going to work. We have to be really conscious of our words, and again, that is another, that's a conversation for another video. But we have to reframe within our heads the way that we talk to ourselves. So rather than saying all of those types of things, I would love you to then reframe it as a question. So when you say, nobody is buying at the moment, okay, I want you to reframe it, and you want you to say, okay, what can I do to make sure people are buying from me at the moment? Totally reframe that. And this will work for every single thought, because we always have what I call thought talk. Yeah, we talk as through our heads, but we don't actually come up with any answers. But by reframing it as a question, we are going to actually look externally and see for the opportunities to then stop that thought talk and start asking that right question. So once you ask that right question, you get out of your head and you then start saying, who can I speak to about this? What situation can I go to? Who can I pick up the phone and sort this situation out with? You know, who can I talk over this with to maybe get some clarity? So yeah, I would say you need to stop the thought talk and start asking the right questions. So a quick recap is going to be, number one, notice what you're thinking. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it advancing your life, particularly for business people? Is it advancing your business? Number two, once you catch yourself doing it, I want you to then reframe that image in your head to visualize and give emotion over time and repetition with something really positive. And then number three is to stop thought talk, because you just go round and round and round, and really get into being proactive and start asking the question, flip it round into a question. So that is my 3 tips for today on reprogramming your mind to be more positive. I hope it's been really helpful. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I know we've had definitely a couple of amazing ladies who've left us some comments, so thank you so much, and I will catch up with you very, very soon. So until next time, this is Sarah. Take care. Bye for now.